Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind Stamped AF. I am bringing you a fun tutorial for this week. It is not going to take long at all. We are using all of the red Stampin Blends, so Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Cherry Cobbler, and we're just going to do a little bit of coloring. So we'll start with the light, and I only need this to be 2 inches across. So I'm not going to go over the edges because I did a sample just a few moments ago, and there's wear and tear on my markers if I go over the edges repeatedly. And I don't want to do that. So just taking the light and the dark, and then I take the light over that seam to blend it in. And I'm not doing any more coloring, but I do want to use Memento. And I am going to stamp these on an angle, so I'm going to tape this down. So the last time I did this, I just freestyled it. I'm gonna see if using an L square makes much of a difference, because I want to keep this, it's basically just to line it up. I want to keep it so that I'm at the same angle every time. I'm sorry if my head gets in the way. So ink it up and then let your stamp just sit there for a few seconds so that that ink soaks in. Okay, so that is the basics of our stamping. I'm just going to trim this down to 2 inches wide. Oh, I took off a little bit too much on that side, so we'll take it. I don't want any white showing. Now I will take the delightful tag topper punch. You can take the scallop tag topper punch as well. I'll just run that in. So this is the reason that I needed it to be 2 inches at least, or no more than 2 inches, was because this can fit 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 2 inches, I believe. I could be mistaken. Now I also like to take my trio punch and round the bottom edges. Just because it's rounded on the top, I feel like it's a better finish. Now you could leave that as is. You could put a black piece on the back just so that you don't see all that coloring. You can do whatever you'd like, but I said this would be a quick project. We have one more little thing to do and then we are done. And I'll show you my sample after the fact. Now here is where the real fun comes in. So we're gonna take a piece of Whisper White, regular cardstock, not the thick. We are going to take the Witty-Cisms with the strawberry. We will stamp that in Memento as well because we'll do a little bit of coloring. If you saw, I just put my ink pad away thinking I didn't use it. I didn't need it, but I do. So I'm gonna stamp 2 just to be on the safe side. There we go. And now we can choose whichever one of the reds we already have out to do our coloring. So we are done with that this time, for real. I am going to take the Real Red. And all you have to do is kind of think about where your shadow would be. Stampin' Up! Usually makes it pretty easy by giving you the shading marks, which is awesome. And then we'll just fill the rest in with the light color. And you could use your color lifter to take off a little bit in the middle. And now we will use, let's use Call Me Clover. I have to admit, I use this color very seldom. My go-to green is always Granny Apple Green, and if it's not that one, it is Old Olive. So these markers are probably like brand new. Okay, so that's all there is to that. Now, I am casing Tiffany Almeida, who is my partner in Pretty AF. If you don't know anything about that group, then you can send me a message, or you can go onto my website and find out more. She had done this project on one of her Facebook Lives maybe a month ago or more, and it's a super fun technique. So what she did was she took sugar-free Jell-O, and this is strawberry. It has to be sugar-free, and I think the reason for that is if it were the regular one, it would melt, like it would burn. You want it to melt. This is mixed with clear embossing powder. Now what Tiffany did was she took a blender pen and just ran it over her Versamark ink. But because I've been crafting for so long, I happen to have a Versa marker. So this is a watermark pen, and I'm not sure, I'll take a look and see if I can find it on Amazon, but it can be refilled with the Versamark refill that we have. So all you have to do is paint over that strawberry, clean off your brush after the fact, take your strawberry Jell-O mixed with clear embossing powder. Now this is the whole package of Jell-O mixed with pretty much a whole package of the clear embossing powder. Because I love this technique so much. I actually used this at my Valentine's Day class recently. We were making jam, and it was my Pampered Chef collaboration. So I have a feeling I'm going to use this for a long, long time. I have looked for other flavors. I wanted to do the pineapple for the tropical, timeless tropical bundle, but I haven't been able to find sugar-free, so boo. I even found some candies that would have worked wonderful, but I can't find it. So maybe I'll check it out on Amazon, or I'll just stick with my berry one. But just shake off any excess and then heat up your heat tool. Heat it too long. It's not going to fully melt because we've got the gelatin crystals in there. But when it is cool, you can rub it and it's like a scratch and sniff sticker. It's amazing. So I'm going to take a punch, take the Everyday Label punch because it tends to be the one that fits this sentiment the best. I just need to cut off my excess. But I've also got the Label Me, I think it's Label Me Fancy punch. There's Label Me Pretty and Label Me Fancy. I have both. Well, this is a little bit warped from the heat. Let's put that side in. There we go. Once you get it pretty much where you want it, just lock it down about halfway. It's going to be very close to the letters on the bottom. There we go. If I had used a bigger piece of cardstock and stamped it maybe a little bit higher up, it wouldn't be so close, but it is a tight fit. Now, just to show you, I would have loved to have used this one, but you wouldn't have enough of the letters. You could pretty much assume that it says thank you, but you don't know for sure. So the reason I have this one out is I want to use that little hole, that punch, to give myself a little circle punch up there, but I can't really tell where it's going to punch, so I like to just draw a circle and then do that. It's a good sized circle punch. Okay, so then we can use some twine, and I have the Country Club twine here. I also have some black and white, so if you if you heard me hesitating there, it's because I'm not sure which one to use. So maybe let's use the black and the red. We'll tie in the black stamps from there. So now we could have the two of them like that, but I am just going to pop this up on dimensionals. So we're just going to pop that up on there. I was doing this before I put it on, and then I got distracted, so. Whoopsie. Maybe tricky to fit both colors in there. So you can tie that in a knot, you can tie it in a bow, however you would like to do it. It's not even really necessary to put it on there, but I thought it was a fun little something. And then you could use whatever you'd like to attach the rest of it. I'm thinking the red twine in there is going to get lost. So let's do something a little more fun. I've got the black satin ribbon, but I think that this glittered organdy one will be more fun because everything about this is fun. So that is our project. It's just a couple of fun little stamp sets from the mini catalog, and it smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision. So we've got thank you very much. We've got the multiple thank yous with the red on the background. And then this was the one that started it all. I made this for a customer recently, and they haven't gotten their order yet, so I've still got it, but I'm just gonna pop these up while I have it here. So I did use some of the brights to do this little rainbow. And then colored the strawberry, which doesn't necessarily match with the colors of my rainbow, but it's still made for some fun. And this is just to attach to her order for thanking her for ordering with me. So that is all. I'm thinking now that I've attached it, I should have kind of inked up my edges. So what we can do, this is totally, what's the word, spontaneous. Let's just add some, I've got my journaling pen here. Let's just add some lines on here. Whoops. Just for some fun, and to show you that there are ways that you can dress up your projects without having to use a stamp and ink. You can just grab a marker. I would take a little more time if I wasn't recording this, but just add a little dot in there. There we go. So it makes it pop because it was just all blending in there. And that's all. I hope that you enjoyed that. It was kind of a spontaneous video to show you something I had sitting around that I wanted to document. I'm just going to put a little bit of that basic black satin ribbon on there. So just remember, it is sugar-free Jell-O and some clear embossing powder, and then you can make yourself some scratch and sniff tags or stickers if you really wanted. So that's all. I think I've said that 3 times now, but there we go. We've got 2 very cute little berry tags, rainbow or coloring with your blends. You can see even the back side of that one looks like fun. So if you do make these, I would love to see what you create. You can tag me at StampedAF on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere that is social, and we will see you again soon, my crafty friends. Bye.